Hi, my friend. How are you? It is Block Wednesday. I'm Pat Sloan, and I am excited for Wednesdays. Wednesdays are always so much fun. We have a new block every week. For those of you who might just be new joining in, we are on Block 4 for Hometown Charms. And I want to say thank you to all those who have been sending me Starbucks cards. This one's on you and you and you. Mwah. Okay, so what do we have for Hometown Charms? When I'm doing this particular sew along, there's a theme for every block. And often, and usually, they are very personal to things that I like to the theme. And so sometimes even I throw in an imagery that is sort of personal to the scene or to the theme. So this week our theme is the hangouts, places in your hometown where everybody hangs out, where you know you can go, kind of like the Cheers bar, but you know, might be an ice cream stand or a pizza parlor or the breakfast place or a sports center or a youth group. You know, there's all kinds of places people hang out in their communities, and you know that that's kind of the thing to do. I grew up along the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and I grew up just a few blocks in. And the beach and water has always been one of my things. And so for my block this week, it is a boat, a sailboat, any kind of boat, any kind of water, because I really like water and being able to, that's a hangout for me, to go someplace where I can sit and see the water. When Greg and I travel, we love to be able to go to a marina or something like that where we can sit and chat with people and look out and see the beautiful water and the beautiful ships and boats. So I decided to put a boat in it, but I have an alternate for those of you who may not speak to you to have a boat. So hang in there with me. So first, let me show you the boat block. Here is one, and guess what? I did it in a second color, and here is another. So I went and tried two different colorations because I'm really not sure which one I'm going to like ultimately. So let's go walk through picking these colors on the other side. I have a little tip while doing my surrounds, like, you know, the little borders around the house block. So let's take a look. You've got two to do. I am doing the cream, which is the background, and then I'm going to do green for the outer one. And what I want to tell you is that if you cut one of each from your strip, then you only have to cut two strips. But if you don't do that, if you just go first and cut the 18, then you won't have enough on the second strip to cut two of the 22 and a half. So instead, cut like this. Open it up and find your 18 and a half, and I still have some salvage there. So there's the 18 and a half. I've cut the salvage off, and then here is the 22 and a half. And you can see I have extra. So it works out perfectly, and you only have to cut two strips, and you only have a little bit left over. Picking the fabrics for the sailboat is going to be so fun. I can't tell you how much I love sailboats. And I am seriously thinking, I wonder if when this is done, I can take and make a version of the full quilt with this using the rest of these Lady Tulip fabrics. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sort of toying with that idea. It'll probably be a little bit scrappy because a lot of them are fat quarters and I will have used up a lot of things, so there might not be a lot to be really cohesive, but we'll see. We'll see what I have left. I'm keeping that idea in reserve. All right, so let's take a look at the fabrics. Now we have to make one big decision, or it's not a big decision, but it's like one design decision I'll make right away so I've got these grouped here by the colors. I will not use the green because on the quilt here, as I was just mentioning, I'm doing the inner border and the outer border around the house. The house touches block 4. So that outer border of this green, anything I do, like if I did the green for the water here, then it would blend right into that border because this border would touch that. I mean, the underneath part of this block would touch the border. So we'll definitely take that one out. So that's a no-go. Other than that, I think we're good. We can just do whatever we end up wanting to do. Now, I do have white sails on here. So I thought I'm going to audition this first as if the sails were white and the background will be something else that it can pop off against, just to see what that looks like. I don't know if I'm going to go with that, but I think it'd be kind of fun. So what if I had kind of this pink background? So if I had this background, which was sort of this pink tone fabric, that is so pretty. That is so pretty. And then I have both white and taupe. So let's not look at the taupe. Let's look at the white and see which one of these, like, obviously like that isn't going to work. It's the same fabric, just in a different color. I don't really want the background, so it eliminates that one. This one has too much pattern for the sails. So this could be the sails. That looks really nice. This one could be the sails. They both have enough lightness to them that they bounce off the surface of here. So if I was doing the sails out of this guy, let's pick that one. So okay, so what if the sails are this? Then that means I'm upside down and backwards here. Okay, there's a sail. So you can see the sail. So I've got a boat, bottom, and water. So what if I was going to do the water in a teal? Okay, so teal water. I think that, and now how does that look against the green? So this one, you can definitely see it against the green. Does this one have better contrast? Definitely there's a contrast there. It's not going to bleed in visually to that block. I think either one is just fine. Okay, that's good. Now, what would I do with the base? I'm thinking it has to be something a little bit heavier color-wise, darker color-wise. I have the pink dot. So that definitely has high contrast. If I did this and this, I mean, I like that, but you could tone it down and go like this so that the boat bottom has more pattern and the water has less pattern. That would be a good option. I like those two. I like these two. Now I've used this and I actually have more of that. So there's the weightiness of, it's got good weight to it for that wheat. And then that same darker burgundy there also looks good. Also, again, if you feel like this is more pattern than you personally would want, you could go with the other. So I love this. I love this. Now let's see, I have that really big rose print. Let me see what happens. Let's just put some of these back here a second. What happened if I used this as the background? Then what would I use? Okay, so there's that grouping. We'll just stick it over here with this guy. So if I use this as the background, and then that gives me a few more options for what's going on. I still probably will do the teal for the water. So we'll just kind of fold that down there, teal for the water. And now I can play around because I have this background gives me a bit more options for sails and things. If I wanted to bring in my beloved tulips, they're just not going to work on this because that's taupe to taupe. See, too much of the sail will just blend right into that background and look like the same fabric. So you're pretty much not going to have any of these. And I'm not sure, like there, that would work, that one would work. And I have more pink, so I could do pink sails. I could do pink tulip boat. So the boat itself, the body of the boat, could be the pink. That's kind of pretty. But it's not real wide. It's 3.5, so it does have a little chunkiness to it. So I could fussy cut a rose in there. That's nice. That's nice. I might have to make both of these, I just might have to. And then now I could play with the sails could be these darker burgundies. Could be the 4 sails like that. Maybe I'll have to make both blocks. This one and that one. Then I can decide. I like this. They could all be different too, but I think with one block, they would be cute. They'd be kind of cute, scrappy, but okay. I'm going to get these tulips in everywhere. See, I have another chunk of tulips in the thing here, but part of that's for a border, so I have to be careful and I don't get. I have to cut the border before I cut into that. All right, so let me go ahead and make 2 boats. I really do think I'm going to have to wait to see which one works best, at least until I get the next one done or pick some of the sashing that goes between them. So let me just put one of them up. I'm going to put the one with the darker background. I'm just going to set that up here and see what it looks like so that you can see. And here we go. Isn't that great? Look at that. So I also, like I mentioned, did the frames around the house. And so I'm happy to have that. And I'm really liking this green there to kind of anchor in that center for me. So that is, yeah, I'm loving that. Loving that. So I think either block actually would work well. Okay, let's audition. We'll put the other one up real quick. If not, I'm going to keep them for a bit. I'm not going to probably sew that in. And more boats like that would be so cute. So like I showed you that layout, I'll show it to you again. Here's the layout of the boats with an alternate block, and I just think that whole thing. I think a lot of us think red, white, and blue for boats, or blue and white with red accents, something like that. But floral boats, I think it would be so pretty. Okay, so what about an alternate? So if boats don't speak to you, the other day, our ambassador Kendall showed some blocks, and he says, I don't remember what sew-along this was from. They weren't set together yet. And it was from a Christmas sew-along from a couple years ago, 2019, done by the Fat Quarter Shop. And it had 4 designers, and it was run a little bit differently than they're running now. You came to each of our websites. And so this was the little Merry Christmas, a little mini Christmas quilt. It was so much fun. But I think these blocks, they're all 12-inch blocks, and so they are great as an alternate to anything in the sew-along that maybe isn't speaking to you for your story. So I am going to link this today at my website. You can go and download all 4 of those and the layout, all in the supply list. If you want to make this as is, it's all over there. It's this 4 blocks, but they're so cute. They're just so cute, these blocks. And I do think, here, I'll just stick it up here while we're talking so you can still see it. I think it is a great alternate set of blocks for trading out if you feel like you want to do that for any of them. Okay, I have, what do I have? Okay, let's take a look. I've got a yellow bundle of fabric that came in a little bit ago from one of the color clubs. Yeah, that's the name. It's a club. So let's take a look at these. I want to show them to you. Whee! And then I have something else. I'll be sure I don't forget to tell you. So the Color Club, So Colorful Club, they do give you a list with all of the fabric numbers underneath so that you can go if any of these you want more of it. But they're always so beautiful, and I cannot get enough yellow. Different shades, as you can see, like they're not all like the same light or the same dark. So we've got like a plaid. This is, I like this little star image on here. See if we can get you in a little closer. There we go. Woo, look at this. Holy cow. I love that. Look at that great big star. And the spider web, this one I used in my Boo Crew. Oh, and the strawberries, my favorite strawberry fabric. Oh, how sweet. And some little dots. There's, what is on there? Roosters and chickens. Chickens. More sunshiny yellow, yeah? It's another little, this is a bright one. Very bright. This has got like a brick pattern on it. It'd be cool for a house, a yellow house, or a yellow brick road. There you go. You got a street you're doing and a yellow brick road in your town. Another yellow dot. That's a nice one. Some leaves. Now we've got these more muted colors. Some beautiful with gold, sort of gold on it, sunflowers. And a little wheat. And that's it for this one. Ah, this is a nice one. This is a nice one. Okay, so today, besides being Block Wednesday, today is also Good Neighbor Day, which I think is just perfect when we're talking about hometown charms and where you hang out. So if you have ever given your neighbor a quilt, share that today. Like I gave, I would call her my neighbor. She owns the local Italian restaurant. I think that, you know, that's neighborly. So I gave Stacy a quilt one time. When you're sharing today, if you have a quilt you gave to a neighbor, share that. Plus, you're going to do your block for Block Wednesday, the sailboat, or possibly one of the others. And tell me a story about the hangout in your hometown. When you go to the website, you will see all of the, not all the ambassadors, you see a group of the ambassadors shared every time. It's, you know, about 5 or 6 of them share a story about their hometown and on the theme, so you get to meet them and get to know them a little bit better. And also, Kendall does a video making the block all the way through at his website, so check that out. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.